Greetings to you all. Welcome to my video. My name is Maya. I am a Wyoming-based artist who works primarily in gouache, watercolor, and oil paint. The holidays are upon us, so I need to start preparing for some more art being in the stores that carry my art, as well as prepare for my upcoming market at the end of the month. I hope you enjoy my next several videos because they will mostly just be of me working on my watercolor greeting cards. This particular greeting card is a candy cane themed thank you card. I started off by drawing the thank you phrase on the upper right corner, then I painted over it with some watered down gouache. While the paint was still wet, I went ahead and added some rock salt to the background to add a little bit more texture to the piece. I am pretty obsessed with the texture rock salt gives off lately. We'll see if I ever move on from using that. Probably not. After all that dried, I scraped off the rock salt and I painted the thank you phrase with some white gouache. When I was done painting the words, I moved on to adding some candy canes. I used some pretty watery gouache for this, so I was able to manipulate the paint easier so I could get that cane shape that I wanted. It left a pretty thin white layer, but obviously it'll look a bit more opaque once I add more layers and details to it. I added a variety of angles to make it look more entertaining. I was originally going to make it look like a giant pile of candy canes where some were overlapping each other, but I decided against it because I was worried it would look too busy. After I positioned all the candy canes that I wanted, I waited for that to dry and then I added some more white to the candy canes. You can see at times that I struggled to get enough thick paint down. I was not adding enough water to my paint and it was a tad bit too thick at times. Next, I started to add some shadows. I went for a purplish hue on the candy canes themselves. When I initially added these shadows below the candy canes, I did not use a dark enough paint. You'll see that it looks dark enough at first, but then it starts to blend into the background as it dries. It worked out well for a bit of a softer shadowy look, but I did have to add a darker, harsher shadow to get the dimension I was trying to achieve. I also added some shadows to the words. This part was a bit nerve-wracking since I was trying to avoid accidentally painting on the white text. I didn't want to touch up the white part of the text, so I was trying my hardest to be so careful here and not overlap the shadow with some of the details of the white part. Finally, I added the red stripes to the candy canes. This is the part that really brought the whole piece together. I went for the type of design that has some thick and thin lines. It brought enough variety to the piece, and I love how it turned out. When I was connecting the stripes to the edge of the candy cane, I purposely left it a little rough looking. I thought it made the candy canes look a bit more whimsical and rustic. So that is all I have to say for this video. I will have a few prints of this greeting card available on my Etsy for those interested in purchasing it. There's all sorts of links for you to explore in the description below as well. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back soon with another video. Bye bye!